Welcome to Fit Grid. Today is your 1 hour abs and upper body workout with dumbbells. And in this workout, what I have for you is a complete unique set of exercises, no repeats whatsoever. Now, let's talk about the entire workout. So we're going to have a 10-minute warm-up dedicated to your upper body because I've been noticing that by sitting around all day on the desk working, we don't stretch our neck or our shoulders and our back. And if you directly go into strength training without a proper warm-up, you're going to pull a muscle. Maybe not today, but definitely next time. So I don't want that to happen to you. So we have a warm-up. After that, we're going to have 4 different sets. Your first set is going to be only upper abs. And I'm going to walk you through all the exercises as we do them. So this is going to be a video where we chat, right? And after that, we basically have the shoulders and arms. The third set is going to be your lower abs and your obliques, so which is the sides of your abs and your lower belly. And after that, finally, we have your chest and back. But there's also a final set. I promise, the last one, which is a unique burnout set that targets your upper body and your core completely. So without talking too much, let's do a couple of things before we start the workout. Number 1, grab a mat, grab a pair of dumbbells or water bottles depending on what you have with you. And also remember that this workout is going to teach you a lot of different activations, different movements. So be prepared to learn. And like this video, subscribe to my channel so you never miss another video from the Fit Grid. I'll see you on the mat. Let's get it! So we're going to start off with the warm-up, and basically first thing we're going to do are your shoulder rotations. So stand with your feet shoulder width apart, squeeze your core in, and let's rotate those shoulders. You want to be careful to not go too fast or go too slow. I'm going to do 2 circles forward and 2 circles backward. Loosen up the shoulder joint. Move your neck around for a little bit more mobility if you need to. You can also go ahead and do 1 arm at a time if you have a particularly tight shoulder. Try to go deep and ground rather than shallow because that really helps you loosen it up. Moving on to left arm circles. So we're going to take left arm and do big circles. 2, 3, 5, and the other side. Five in the clockwise direction and 5 in the anti-clockwise direction, just like that. Finally, we're going to move on to your right arm circles. So it's going to be 2. Wow, my arm is particularly tight. Remember that with this workout, what you're doing is you're building strength, flexibility, cardiovascular stamina to keep going. Each exercise is going to be 50 seconds of work with 10 seconds of rest. And even though if you can't complete an exercise for all of the 50 seconds, it's completely fine. But what's not fine is to pause and shut your laptop, because over here, we are here to work with grit. You've got to show up. You're with me here today, so let's make it count. Next up, we have your elbow stretches. I find these particularly helpful. So what you're going to do is you're going to have your arms wide out like this and squeeze your elbow in like that. So you're stretching your triceps, your biceps, your forearms, all your tight muscles. And you should actually feel a tightness right here in your bicep and your tricep. So something like this. And remember to breathe deeply and gently, and with every breath, what you're doing is you're getting into the state of more and more focus, more and more preparedness to get intense during this workout. After this, what we have are the palm and elbow touch. So you want to put your palms together such that there is no gap between them and your elbows together. And what we're going to do is we're just going to slide it up and down like that. So with this particular stretch, what you're doing is you're stretching out your lats, also some of your traps, and a little bit of your shoulders, but primarily it's your lats. This is perfect for someone who sits around with a crouch all day. If you're unable to join your elbows as you move through it up and down, it's totally fine. Moving on, we have the black burn. So with the black burn, you want your arms wide out, your palms facing upwards, and as if you're holding two bowls, and you're just going to flip those bowls clockwise. Just rotate them. All the way to the top, and then you're going to go down behind your back. Interlace your fingers and pull your upper back and your neck in a natural pull. Gently, don't jerk your body. And then again, you're going to come back up and back to your rotation. You should feel a sort of deep stretch in your lats and in your upper back, as well as your triceps and biceps as you do this movement. The best part about these 1 hour workouts is that you not only get a solid workout in, but it's such an accomplishing feeling to finish a workout. You know, after these 1 hour videos, I'm usually so excited and I feel so calm at the same time because I just learned so much. I pushed my body and I know I'm getting stronger. Finally, we have the cobra pose. So for the cobra pose, you're going to need a mat. Make sure your palms are on the side of your chest like this. Look ahead and very, very gently raise your upper body, feeling a deep stretch in your core and your back. If you don't have the flexibility for the cobra pose, you can go ahead and do the sphinx pose, which is equally beneficial and equally relaxing. Just put your arms out like this on your elbows, so all the tension is in your elbows and your forearms. You feel a lesser stretch in your back and your spine and your abs, but it's good enough. So what I like to do is, depending on my level of flexibility, I like to either do the cobra pose or the sphinx pose and look side by side to get your neck stretched out as well. Whew. So let's repeat this 2 more times before we move on to set 1, which is your upper abs.
Cause I've been running round in circles screaming out your name. Let me feel your love again. Cause I've been running round in circles screaming out your name.
Let me feel your love again. Cause I've been running round in circles screaming out your name. Take me to a different place, just the 2 of us and we can stay up all night, kissing under streetlights, doing what we want to, doing what we need to do. I didn't think I'd make it without you by my side. Let me feel your love again. Just the two of us and we could stay up all night, kissing under streetlights, doing what we want to, doing what we need to do, staying up all night. Everything is alright. Oh, I wanna be with you. Oh, I wanna be with you. Let me be that someone who can hold your hand.
With the rest of 10 seconds and then right back into it. So for all the exercises henceforth, whether it's abs or upper body, I want you to activate your core. The way to activate your core is to basically brace it, which means that if anyone punch you in your stomach, you have protection, like your abs become the wall, basically. And the best way to do that is to squeeze your belly button into your spine. So this would be your extended state. I want you to squeeze it in and hold it. And it should be such that you can talk. So you're not necessarily holding your breath in like that, but you're just squeezing it in tight. Basically, you're preparing your core for impact. So when you do this, you're activating all your muscles. You won't have other parts of your body taking control and doing the exercise for you. So let's get into it. Your first exercise is going to be slow crunches. So down on the mat. Make sure there is no space between your lower back and your mat. And the best way to do that is to brace your core and squeeze your glutes and your back into the mat. At all points of time, I want you to engage your core. Push your head into your palms to avoid pain in your neck. And imagine that your entire head and your chest is one piece that you're crunching. You should start feeling a burn in your upper abs. And that's exactly how you want it to be. Don't forget your activation. Squeeze your core. Squeeze. The next exercise is the toe touches. And in this one again, you want to activate your core, your neck, and your shoulders will be off the mat. Put your palms together in an arrow form and try to reach for those toes. You don't need to have a specific breathing pattern, but what you do need to do is pull your belly button to your spine. Contract that core. Come on. I know you can do this. Let's do it. Wow. Your abs must be burning. Next up, what we have are slow bicycles. So with slow bicycles, we're not going to go really fast, obviously. But the reason we are doing slow bicycles is to really activate those muscle fibers. So we're going to go right side first, elbow to knee, then to the left. And try to feel the sides of your abs working. Breathe out to activate your core. Remember why you're doing this, why you're here with me today on this mat. You're here because fitness is important for you. There's a reason why you're working so hard today. And just keep reminding yourself of that reason. What is it? It's never going to get easy. Trust me when I say that, but you will get stronger. And that's what we are here for. To build strength, stamina, determination, grit. These are the things that matter to us. Let's go! Now grab a dumbbell. So I'm going to be grabbing my 10-pound dumbbell, but if you don't have a dumbbell, you can grab a water bottle or anything that works for you. And we have the overhead dumbbell crunches. So you're going to have your heels on the floor, just like that. Hold the dumbbell up above you. If you're a beginner, you have to hold it at your chest. For more advanced folks, this is a good one. And crunch. It's almost a full sit-up, but it's actually partial because a full sit-up would look something like this. You're not really completely sitting up. All we want to do is activate the upper abs and burn them out. Let's go. Keep pushing. You got this. Come on, I'm with you. We're in this together. Let's do this. Next up, we have heel touches, and these are perfect for your obliques. There's one little trick that I use, which is to make sure that my fingers are touching my heels. If they are not, Move your feet a little bit closer. You want them to barely touch your heels so that you're actually doing the work to squeeze your obliques in. So let's start. Head above the floor. Let's go. 1, 2. If you have a neck issue, you can put your hand behind your neck and do 10 each side before moving on to the next one. Try to keep the tension in your core as you do this exercise. Never let your core relax. It's the most important part about doing ab workouts. You could do 1,000,000 reps with no impact if you're not activating your core properly. The next exercise is going to be the dumbbell pause and crunch. Again, it's perfect for your upper abs. And what we're going to do is you're going to hold the dumbbell to your chest as you bring it up, and then crunch. Pause and crunch. So you're doing like a half crunch before you do a complete crunch. And this is much lesser than a sit-up. So be very careful. Make sure that your lower back and your mat have no gaps between them. Squeeze that belly. Let's go, let's do this. If the burning gets unbearable, it's completely okay to switch into a normal crunch like that. But by doing this half crunch, you're definitely recruiting more muscle fiber for that stability. The little pause is making your core work much, much harder. Let's go guys, we got this, come on. Oh, my abs are burning too. Wow. Next up, what I have for you is your left elbow knee crunch. So, in this particular exercise, what you're going to do is you're going to get into a side plank. And it could be a supported side plank like this with your knee on the mat. Or you could go advanced and go in a side plank like that, an elbow side plank. And crunch. Crunch your left oblique. Let's go guys. 1, 2, 3, let's go. Squeeze it. I know you can do it. And I know it's difficult. But you know what? It's making you stronger. And you're not alone, right? You're with me. We're in this together. We're not giving up. I'm not gonna let you give up. Believe me. Try to touch your elbow to your knee. Keep holding your plank. Other side. Side planks are one of the best ways to build your obliques, activate them. And as you crunch, I want you to really squeeze with all your might as if you're pulling an elastic band and pulling your arm and your leg together. You can do it, come on. Come on, you got this. If it gets too difficult, it's okay to drop your supporting leg down and still continue the movement. It's totally fine. No one's judging you. We're all in this together. We're all working hard. right? Finally, we have 2 more exercises left. This one is going to be a tad bit easier. It's one of my favorite exercises. Again, targets the obliques. Once again, let's get into it. So this one's going to target your upper abs and your oblique. Your legs are in a tabletop position. Make sure that your calf makes a 90-degree angle with your hamstring. Your arms are above you, palms together. What we're going to do is we're going to crunch up and slice left. Slice left. Slice left. You're reaching for the left side. You're working your inner obliques and your upper abs. As you do this, slice it. If you're feeling a bit uncomfortable or unstable, you can basically put your feet on the floor and still slice it. But I feel having them in a tabletop position gives you much more impact. Moving on to your left side. Let's get into it, guys. I want you to lift up your neck as you slice. This time you're working your right oblique. We can do this. Let's go. For your second set, we're going to be targeting your shoulders and arms. So grab a pair of dumbbells. I'm going to be using 2 pairs of dumbbells, a 15-pounder and a 10-pounder. But it's completely up to you what you have available at your home. We make no excuses, so a water bottle, tones, grocery bags, any household equipment like books, completely fine. No excuses. So the first exercise that we have are your shoulder press. So for this one, get your dumbbells up and we're just going to push away, squeeze through your shoulders. Try to get as many reps as you can. You can feel free to pause for a few seconds and then dive right back into it. Come on, you got this. The next exercise is going to be push-ups, and with push-ups, the most important thing to remember is to push your chest off the ground. It works very well for me to have a get into the push-up position as you lower and push up. The next exercise is going to be lateral raises. Now, when you're doing lateral raises, it's important to remember that you have an interior rotation in your elbows. So it's not like you're going straight up like this, but you're almost as if rotating your elbows inwards and then pushing it out like this. So your dumbbells are aligned in this inclined manner, exactly how my fingers are. You can have a slight bend in your upper body as well as you do this exercise, something like this. Remember, you're as strong as your weakest rep, so keep going, especially when it gets harder. You always have the capacity to squeeze at least a couple more reps out, and that's exactly what's gonna make you stronger. Push yourself, you got this. Next up, I'm going to grab my 10-pound dumbbells and do neutral grip front raises. So you want the dumbbells at a 90-degree angle to your body as you go up and down. So again, the key to remember is to put your traps down so you're not crowding your ears like this. This is very, very bad form. Make sure that your traps are down. Grip your dumbbells with confidence, and as you don't swing, but move them up. You'll feel most of the effort taken up by your bicep as you do this movement, but you're also sculpting your forearms, your anterior delts, a little bit of your posterior delts and your lateral delts as well. Basically, your entire shoulder is going to help you stabilize this. Don't swing your dumbbell like that. You're going to hurt yourself. Instability is not your friend today. It's more important to focus. It's important to remember why you started. Keep going. Great. Next up, we have the upright row. So for the upright row, I'm going to be using my heavier dumbbells. And in this as well, what you're going to do is imagine you're basically grazing the dumbbells across your chest, pulling them up with your arms. Make sure that your elbows do not cross your ears so you don't hurt yourself. Let's get into it. If it gets a bit difficult, what I like to do is do alternate upright rows, just like that. I can feel my shoulder fatiguing, so I don't want to push it too much. Squeeze. Okay, so next up we have the alternate Arnold press. I'm going to go lighter, so I'm just going to using my 10-pound dumbbells. And for this exercise, you're going to hold both your dumbbells together in front of you, and this is called as your prone grip, supine grip, because your grip is facing you, and then you're going to rotate it into a prone grip up top. So something like this. try to hold the tension in your shoulder as you rotate it back to base at the supine grip. Instead of letting your arm give away, it's something like this. If this is happening to you, it means the dumbbells are a bit too heavy for you, or you're not exercising enough control. So you want your dumbbells to stay here even when you return them back to base. Next up, we have the left arm hammer to bicep curl combo, while your other arm should be on your waist, stabilizing the rest of your body. So, I'm going to take my 10-pound dumbbells and let's get into it. So make sure that your elbow is tucked to your waistline so you don't have any swinging motion. Your shoulder and your elbow, they should be frozen as a part of your entire body, with the only movement happening in your forearm and your palm. So, bicep curl, hammer curl. Bicep curl into a hammer curl. Let's do it. Come on, how many reps can you get? Make sure to retain the tension in your bicep as you perform this exercise. Never let your bicep loosen up. Wow, that burns. Grab a sip of water if you need to, and then let's do the next hand. Let's get into the right hand. Placing your other arm on your waist is going to help you stabilize your body and avoid using the wall or any kind of support, and instead letting your core hold you together, which is what we want. We want maximum core activation while we are doing strength training for your arms. Hammer curl. Next up, we have plank up downs. So grab a mat or an elbow-friendly surface, and we're going to do my very favorite movement, plank up downs. Remember to squeeze your core, squeeze your glutes for more stability. I don't want any swaying like that. We need to hold it together and only move your upper back and your shoulders. The final exercise in this set is going to be a forearm plank hold, and in that particular exercise I want you to hold straight plank. Give me something perfect. Let's do it, guys. It's the last exercise. You gotta make it count. Then I'm up for you a 30-second rest. on, we got this. It's all about 50 seconds. That's it. Trust me when I say this, you can do anything for 50 seconds. Squeeze your core, glute, your shoulders, activate everything. If it gets difficult, look between your fingers. And remember why you're doing this. Why are you here with me today? What do we plan to accomplish together? Know your shoulders are burning. Believe me when I say this, you're stronger than this. Your third set. Are you ready? You're working the obliques and the lower abs. Let's get into it. These are some difficult moves. So if you find yourself giving up too quickly, it's totally fine to pause, take a breath, but hop back right in. What counts is that you don't give up before rest, and that's exactly what I'm looking here for. I'm not looking for perfect reps, obviously. I'm looking for good form. However, what I'm looking for is grit. That's what this channel is all about. I need you to dig deep within yourself. Find the why, find the motivation, and not quit no matter how bad the burning gets. Let's get into it, guys. Your first exercise is going to be leg raises. A classic exercise done usually wrong. And I want you to keep your core tucked in, your lower back fused to your mat with absolutely no gap. And put your arms up above you like this, so you're not using your upper body for any movement. Pick up your legs, squeeze your core. Pick it up again. Drop it. You don't need to go all the way down if you can't, and then pick it back up. Go as low as you can, pick it back up. Don't let your back arch under any circumstance. Now, if you need to, if you're feeling your lower back arch, it's okay. You can put your palms below your pelvis and then do this movement. But it's far more effective to have your arms above you and simply go as low as you need to. Come back up. Your abs should be rock solid. Next up, we have the hollow to knee crunch. Now, for this exercise, again, we're going to hold a hollow, which means no space between your lower back and the mat. And feet floating above the ground as you tuck in, touch your toes, and then tuck out. For my beginners, you can put one leg on the floor and then perform the tuck. And then do the alternate leg. And this is for my advanced. The lower your legs are, the more difficult it will be. It's okay to reset yourself to ensure that your core is tucked in and there is no gap between your lower back and the mat. Under no circumstance, allow your back to arch. That's a recipe for injury. You know what I'm saying? That's a disaster. Come on, you can do this. Now, give me a couple more reps. Whew. Your next exercise is going to be hollow with 3 leg taps on the left side. Feet off the mat, bring them as low as possible, and then drop, 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 and up. Tap, 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 and up. You're tapping right below, then you're tapping a little bit outside, back to right below, and then now back up. Tap, 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 and up. Come on, you can do it. Hold the tension in your lower abs. Let's work it. Let's get that waistline. Come on, we got this. Use your other leg to stabilize you. Use your arms to stabilize you. Your entire body is working to make sure that you complete this exercise. Come on, you can do this. Time for round 2 on the other side. Hands above your head. Lower your feet until it's just barely comfortable. And then tap, tap, and up. Try to be as controlled in your movement as possible. I know it's difficult, I know it's burning, but I know you can do it as well. Believe in yourself. Like, have the faith, have the confidence. You know, your body's designed to move. It wants to get stronger. Just help it get there. Facilitate it. Don't get caught up in your head. Your emotions are playing against you. Control yourself as you battle this. I promise you, you're getting stronger. Whew. An oblique crunch, which is going to look like this. It's like an oblique sit-up, but just like that. So we're going to do the left side first, and then we're going to do the right side. And I want you to feel and hold the tension all the way across your left oblique as you touch to the right. Let's get into it, guys. Hold the dumbbell firmly above your head. I don't want any injuries, so be conscious about it. Deep breath in. Make sure that your shoulder blades go off the mat. You're not sitting up, but you're in between a crunch and a sit-up. Squeeze your core. You can do it. Now let's work the other side. Hold the dumbbell above your head, activate your core. Take a deep breath in as you crunch on your left side. Crunch. You should feel it in your right oblique. For me, it's much harder to do the right oblique than the left one. I don't know why. That's what we call as muscle imbalances. Come on, guys, we just have a few more exercises until this set is over. If it gets a bit too exhausting, it's okay to drop your dumbbell down and simply do your oblique sit-ups. So next up, we have the slow sit-up to left twist. So this is going to be a lot more fun. So I want your heels to dig into your mat. You don't want your toes touching the mat. And slowly go back, lie down. We're going to sit up and twist. So sit up and twist. Squeeze your core as you twist. Use your heels to stabilize you. a slow sit up. So consciously lower down, crunch up, twist. Now moving on to your left, your right side. Sit up and twist. Gently roll up and twist. I know you can do this. Come on, let's do it, guys. Make sure your heels are digging into your mat. Your last two exercises are side planks. So let's get started and let's get done with these guys before we move on to our final set. Oops, second last set. So this is going to be your left side plank dips. So we're targeting your left oblique and your stabilization muscles. Now, if you're exhausted and if you're a beginner, you can always put your knees down at any point of time and then perform your crunches like this. Now, make sure that your elbow is right below your shoulders. And I like to place my fingers wide apart. It somehow gives me a sense of stability as I'm doing the plank and I don't feel shaky. Now, put your arm up above you and gently let go, pick it back up. That's how you crunch. Look at your fingers for that extra bit of control. Look at your fingers for that extra bit of control. What did you do, Pi? Huh? Oh. No Pi. Oh, 20 more minutes. Now, moving on to your other side. You can also hold your waist for the drop. Wow, my obliques are on total fire. Wow, my obliques are on total fire. Set number 3, we did it. Welcome to your 4th set, which is going to be chest and back and also triceps. And this is your final strength set before we go into your upper body burnout. I promise you, this set is the easiest among the others. So I'm not going to talk too much because I know we are all tired, but you know what? We can do this. And this is where you need to pull all your energies together, get your why out of you, and let's get started. It's very important to grip your dumbbells properly. You want your thumbs above your fingers. Your legs could be either completely flat on the floor or, with your feet on the floor like this. And squeeze your core as you pump up. I know you're tired, even I'm tired. We got this, guys. Come on, we can do it. Let's not talk about being tired. Who else had a long day at work today? Gosh, it was a Friday for me, but lifting it all out. Come on, we can do it. Your next exercise is going to be the DB pullovers. And in this case, I want you to keep your feet flat on the ground. Make sure you're gripping your dumbbell vertically like this. And we're working the lats. Gently lower it down. You feel a stretch in your upper back and then squeeze it back up. So you want a slow concentric and a fast eccentric. Just like that. You're working your upper back, your lats, your rhomboids, all of your upper back muscles, your traps, also some of your shoulders. Great. Up next, we have chest flies. So for this exercise, I'm going to be using a lighter pair of dumbbells. If you don't have a lighter pair of dumbbells, it's totally fine. You can do these body weight as well. I'm going to show you just how. So you're going to have the dumbbells joined together above you, right above your face. Make sure your dumbbells are gripped really, really tight. Your feet flat on the floor, lower back flushed into the mat, and pull the dumbbells apart. Go as low as you can and bring it back up. You're working on your pectoral muscles, your chest muscles, to give you that strong upper body that you need, that shape, that toned look that you're seeking. We are all seeking. Let's go, guys, we got this. Slow descent, quickly bring them together. Slow descent, quickly pull them together, and quickly pull them together. Moving on, we have the closed grip chest press. I'm using my 10-pound dumbbells, squeeze them together, and I'm going to bring them close to my chest. Push it back up quickly. So slowly lower them down, squeeze them together, and push it back up. Make sure that your core is constantly tucked into your spine as you do these movements. Slowly lower, push it back up. Next up, we have the skull crushers. So I'm going to be using a single dumbbell, 10-pound dumbbell right above me, and you want to make sure that your elbows are in line with your shoulders, and all you need to do is watch your bicep as you lower and bring it back up. There shouldn't be any moving in your bicep. The only moving should be on your elbow, and only your forearms should move back just like this. This exercise works the back of your arms and your forearms. So it works your triceps. Also strengthens your elbow joint. Next up, we have the supine row. Now, for this exercise, what you're going to need is, I'm going to go with my heavier pair of dumbbells, and I'm going to bend over, making sure that my back is flat. I'm going to hold the dumbbells such that my fingers are facing away from me, which is the supine grip. And then I'm going to squeeze my back, pull them together, drop it low. You want to look straight right in front of you so that your neck does not get arched. Make sure your lower back is not arched as well. Dig your heels into the ground. If you have a mirror, I'd recommend watching your form in the mirror as you do these.
Life was dull until you came. I was breathless when we first met. Couldn't keep my hands away. I was speechless when we first met. Yeah, you took the pain away. Didn't mind my scars, mend my broken heart. Life was dull until you came. Now I see in color again.
The next exercise is going to be your left bent over row. And for this exercise, you want to put your right hand in front of you, in front of your knee, and so that you get this tabletop structure. Your feet are split wide apart. You don't want too much of a distance, too narrow of a distance, just right to get this back portion. We're going to be working your entire lat muscle. So that's the largest muscle in your upper back. Let's get into it, guys. I want you to squeeze it and then slowly lower. All the while you're using your right hand right above your knee, not on your knee, right above your knee to support you. Squeeze it, lower.
Never thought I'd feel this high. The sky has never felt this close. And when you kiss me, I can't believe that I am yours and you are mine. You took the pain away, didn't mind my scars, mend my broken heart. Life was dull until you came. Now I see in color again. It can rain on your mind if it pours, 'cause I'm right next to you.
Now we're going to do the same thing on the other side, and this time you want your right leg behind you, left leg in front of you, left arm on your right knee. So you're getting this flat back, just like that. And then you're gonna pick up your dumbbell and squeeze it. You're basically working your entire lats muscle over here. Make sure to look right in front of you, potentially staring at the toe in front of you. You don't want to arch your neck and hurt your upper back. Slow, controlled, but deliberate movements. Make sure to breathe and squeeze your core. Final 2 exercises to end our strength training set, and that's going to be your left tricep kickback and your right tricep kickback. Come on guys, 2 more minutes, just 2 more minutes. We are done with set number 4. And guess what? You're done with the hardest part of the workout. Burnouts are my absolute favorite. So I'm going to take my lighter 10-pounder dumbbells, and what I'm going to do, get down on all fours, like this. Pick up the dumbbell like this and squeeze my elbow to my body and kick back. When you kick back, you can hold it for about a split second before pulling it in front of you for that extra bit of muscle activation if you have the energy for it. I promise you, you're getting stronger. We've worked every single part in our upper body. This is the final isolated part that we're working. I'm so excited we've made it so far together. Let's repeat this on the other side. Make sure to keep your elbow glued to your waist. Hold it up for a split second. Bring it back in front of you. Complete range of motion. Make sure to keep your elbow glued to your waist. Hold it up for a split second. Bring it back in front of you. Complete range of motion. That's it, guys. We're done with set 4. And now it's time. Tiki, come here, buddy. Come here, buddy. Sit, sit. It's time for set number burnout. It's time for the burnout. Clear out your weights. Let's get into the burnout. Now, before we start the burnout, I want you to do a small mental exercise for me, which is going to be to clear out your mind. Clear your mind out of anything that you couldn't do or can't do in the previous exercises. Focus entirely and completely on this final set. That's it. It's just you and the final set and me. Let's smash it till the end of this workout, guys. Come on, I want to feel some energy. I really want it. Let's do some jumping jacks. Come on, I want to feel some energy. Let's do this. Come on. So for the next 8 minutes, there is absolutely no rest. We're going to be doing each exercise for 1 whole minute before we move right into the next one. I'd advise you to not take a break unless you really need to. So grab that sip of water and let's take up the challenge. Are you ready? Let's go. This first one is groiners. Let's do this.
Lay it all on me when you're
The next exercise is high plank shoulder taps. Feet wider than usual because it's going to be a long 1 minute set.
No, I got you back. Your battles are mine too. I'll fight for you when things get hard. Lay it all on me when you're not strong enough to carry on. Baby, you should know I got you. Baby, you should know I got you. You should know. Baby, you should know I got you. Baby, you should know I got you.
Exercise number 3, burpees. Let's go.
Baby, you should know I got you. Got you. Baby, you should know I got you.
We gon' break up, then we make up. Act like we're gonna be friends. Flames the fire, take me higher. Leave it all over again, all over again. Leave it all over again, all over again. Leave it all over again. We gon' break up, then we make up.
Plank walks. So you're going to walk forward and drag your feet behind you. So something like this.
All over again. Leave it all over again. All over again. Leave it all over again. Leave it all over again.
Push up to tuck. In this case, you're going to get into push-up position. You're going to do a push-up, hold the position, and then do a plank tuck, right? Let's get into it, guys.
Leave it all over again.
The last 3 minutes of this workout, no more jumping. We're just gonna do a plank hold for 1 minute. It's a classic forearm plank. If you want, you can also hold a high plank. Leave it totally up to you.
I promise I really tried to keep you away from my mind. And I tell you this ain't no lie, but I've done my best to find someone new to give all my time.
emotions left inside. I need to stop reminiscing. I still wanna make you feel alright when I'm not. I've been like this from the beginning.
Second last exercise, left side plank. Let's get into it, guys. So I'm gonna be holding the high side plank up.
When I'm not, I just wanna make you feel alright. When I'm not, I still know you inside out. That is why you call me in the night. Oh, and these days when I'm not around, you've done your best to find someone new to give all your time. But all you wanna do is rewind. Oh, I guess that I cannot hide the emotions left inside. I need to stop reminiscing.
And other side. Come on, guys. Last exercise. We can do it.
Make you feel alright when I'm not. I just wanna make you feel alright when I'm not. I just wanna make you feel alright when I'm not. I need to stop reminiscing. I just wanna make you feel alright when I'm not.
That's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this workout. Don't forget to give me a like and comment down below. How did you get on? And how did you enjoy this workout? Especially with this kind of talking style of workout. I'd really like to know what you think about it. Also, don't forget that not every workout is going to be amazing. It's not going to feel amazing, and that's completely fine because we're all learning every single day. Remember that fitness is forever, and it only works if you show up every single day. So leave me a comment if you've been consistent in your fitness journey. I wish you a happy month of October. I'll see you on the mat next time. Till then, take care.